We've been talking about the string of creating a string of relevance through a sermon, so that the sermon holds together with a sense that, yeah, this is for us. We have to respond to this. This is intended for us to respond. And the final part of this string or thread for me is the actual application part of the sermon, where we talk about what does this look like, for instance, after we leave church. What does it look like on Monday morning? And what you're trying to do now is you're trying to connect. At the very beginning of the sermon, we created a need to hear it. Now at the end of the sermon, we're connecting back to that need, saying, okay, this is how we put into practice what the text was intended to do for us. So in this, again, in the example from Isaiah 26, working down through that chapter, let's say from verses 1 through maybe verse 8, at the end of the sermon is the time to delve into the question, are we experiencing the perfect peace, for instance, that is promised in verse 3? Is that true of us? And in order to do that, of course, we've got to put our finger on some of the things that are knocking on these strong city gates. The devil is threatening to tear down the defenses of God. So we talk about, do we have this peace? Are we experiencing it? And if not, where are the areas in which we have to trust God in order to experience the peace that He's provided through Christ? That all happens toward the end, of course. Not always at the end, but often at the end, where we start to talk about how do we put a text like this into practice? How do we make sure that this perfect peace is something that we're experiencing, so that we can actually sing this song now in part as we wait for complete deliverance in the future day?